Hello everyone, welcome to Professional Training Academy. In this video we are gonna explain in details about Jira application.
Yeah, so as discussed in today's class, we will go through Jira. It's a very important tool for business analyst, mostly when the project is on agile methodology, right? The entire activities is being managed in an application which is called Jira. And most of these projects, so there are some competitors also like Rally and RTC and all other products, but 90% or more than 90% of the projects in today's world on agile methodology is running on Jira. So it's like a market leader in terms of the similar application that we have. But yeah, a couple of other tools just for your understanding, you can always Google and find out. So Microsoft Azure DevOps is also making good nowadays. Rally is another tool, and IBM's RTC. These are some of the other tools, competitors of Jira. But in today's class, we will focus on Jira. We'll try and understand the different functionalities, the capabilities, and what are the features that Jira is currently providing, right? So I have already set up a project on Jira, and I shared, invited all of you, created a team. So we will see how do we do that. Some of you have checked that and accepted the invite and created the profile. Others can also try. Most of these tools on business analysis, right, it is mostly self-learning tool. As long as you understand what do you have to do using this tool. These tools are self-explanatory. So yeah, it's very easy tool, easy to use and easy to manage. So in Jira, we mostly manage entire requirement lifecycle management, and entire project is being managed here. Jira is used for different functions. So some of the team, very specifically, they manage only for support activities. Some of the team might use this particular tool only as a bug management tool. Whenever they find bug, they use this. Some of the agile projects, the projects which are running on agile methodology, they will use end-to-end. They will do all the activities here. Some of the development activities also, some of the project and end-to-end, including the development, implementation, and all is being done using Jira, right? So Jira has an integration capability to integrate on any infrastructure, and Jira also has a code repository, which is a separate tool, but that is integrated with Jira. All the developers, those who are committing their code and all, can use Jira for doing that activity. At the same time, along with Jira, there is a similar application from Atlassian, which is called Confluence, right? Which is like a SharePoint. So if you know SharePoint, where we store all the documents, it's a discussion board also. So at times for some of the project, all the requirement documentation, the discussion on requirement, minutes of meeting, and all these activities are captured and managed via Confluence, and your entire project is managed via Jira. So yeah, so we'll quickly look at some of the functionality. We'll quickly go through this slide and see some of the important functionality on Jira, and then we'll jump onto the application, and we'll do a navigation of different important function. Post that, yeah, it's up to you how much do you practice, right? Creating the project, creating epic user stories, assigning it. So we'll do a demo of entire life cycle, but post that, it is expected that you all practice a lot, at least navigate that entire application, so you understand what is available where, right? How do you access to a user story? How do you create a user story? How do you link a user story to Epic, right? How do you assign the story points, right? Acceptance criteria, all these we need to understand. Okay, so let's me quickly start. Yeah, so as I mentioned, Jira is a very powerful tool, right? It gives you a lot of functionality. It helps you prioritize your requirement, assign, track, report, and audit all the issues, starting from bugs to entire project, including the change management request, right? It also includes productivity. Lot of manual activity that happens in the project, which is being done by the project manager or some senior resource in terms of understanding who is working on what is the current estimation. Some of these things which used to happen in Excel or similar, where a project manager who is managing that entire project has to discuss with everyone and manually enter a lot of estimation, calculation, and all that. All these are automated by using Jira. So you do not have to do anything. Everything, all that information can be picked up, can be pulled from Jira. And a lot of other functionalities so that we will probably understand. I have just given the homepage as well as the documentation link. So there's extensive document on all the Jira versions are available on this particular link, right? You can just pull one of the document and want to understand entire end-to-end flow standard operating procedure that Jira has maintained. A lot of questions that can be answered here in case even in future when you are working on Jira, you have a specific question, you want to understand any specific function, you can reach out to this documentation link and there is a support or help activity. So you just reach out to help and then you get all that information. So for your reference, I just captured this information here. And as I mentioned, right, Jira is giving a lot of functionality, bug change, request tracking, everything, help desk support, project management, entire project can be managed, task tracking, who is working on what, right, that can be tracked on a daily basis. Your entire requirement management is being done in Jira, right? So the requirement analysis activity, requirement documentation activity, user stories creation, finding out the business function, non-functional requirement, all these are managed through Jira. And it is a management of your entire workflow process management. So when we say entire workflow, there are different ways. So initially you gather requirement, you confirm a requirement, right? The requirement will be delivered to development and they will code it. Then the QA team will test it. They will validate it. Then it will go for implementation. So all these are different workflow steps. Using one story, we can run this entire workflow, which is being managed by Jira. So one requirement, which is a requirement one, at this point of time, it is at what stage? You can get that information. You can pull a report of all the requirement in the scope of that particular project, and at any point of time, you get a latest update on what is happening on a particular requirement, and that entire list can be reported. So this is very strong reporting capability on Jira. In Jira, this is a standard workflow. So I talked about workflow, right? So this is a standard workflow that is available on Jira inbuilt. But the workflow that we have on Jira is customizable, right? So based on the project requirement, you can always customize. The standard is open. It means that a new item has been recorded, a new requirement or a new bug, anything. It can be a new requirement also. So the requirement is already in scope and a story is created and it is in currently open or new stage, right? When the development team picks up, it is in progress, right? And there are a couple of other items also. If it is in progress, means it's development done, right? If it is resolved, then QA will validate it, right? QA will validate. If the issue is still there, they will reopen and it will again in progress. If it is working fine, then it will be closed. So this is a high level workflow that is mentioned here, but based on more clarity, all these are filter criteria, right? If you just search open and you want to get a list of all the open items, you will just extract that report. If you want to get a report of all the in progress and open item, you can get that. Based on the project requirement, you can further segregate these workflow into say in progress development, right? Testing in progress development complete, right? UAT ready or testing incomplete, UAT ready, right? And then ready for production complete. All these different workflow you can always customize based on the requirement that you have. But the standard Jira will have this. Rest you can customize. Issue creation. So we will see there is all these starts with the creation of an issue, right? The creation of a requirement, a bug, and enhancement. Entire project start with this. Even if for your project, the product backlog that you are maintaining, right? Your entire backlog that is a part of the entire project requirement will be created as kind of issues, and issues are stories, right? And there are different segregation. You can create a bug, you can create a task, you can create an epic, you can create a story. All these are different ways. There is a create button which we will use and create all these items, and then the workflow step starts. So we will quickly see how do we create. Then, as I was explaining, that Jira has a strong capability of providing reports, right? That is another very important feature of Jira. By looking at this at any point of time, just look at this particular dashboard. If you want to understand on the project that you are currently working on, that particular project, how many items are open as of today, how many are reopened, resolved, closed, all these status, you will quickly get it. And the good thing is all these are drilled down, right? If you click on this, you will get a list of all these open items. If you click on reopen, you will get a list of all the open items. You can extract that into Excel. You can send that into your email, right? All these actions you can perform. You can extract this entire report, and this report will be, you will use for reporting it to higher management, right? You will use it for reporting it to working group. The same time, based on the critical measure, when we create an item, right, we define the priority. So we have seen the priority, whether this is high priority, it's critical, it's blocker, major, minor, all these are different categories. The priority of the requirement or the bug or the enhancement that we are working, you can pull your report based on that also. So if you are managing your project, right, and the project deadline is near, say 2 weeks from now, you are pulling a report to understand how many critical and major items are still to be worked upon. That will give you a clarity on how your project is moving ahead, right? Minor and trivial is very, it's a minor change, right? So all these items can be taken care later, but at least critical, major, or high priority items will be taken care of. Similarly, there are a lot of other reporting functionalities. So we will see that your entire dashboard you can create, right? And as a project manager or Scrum Master, mostly the Scrum Master or project manager or leadership, they create different dashboards, and then they use that dashboard to keep a track on the project, to understand how the project is moving, right? And then if they want to further drill down, they have all the information available. Then the another capability that Jira is another very, very important feature is the roadmap creation. So say for a particular project, right? The project is kicking off today, and the project timeline is say 1 year from now. You have divided that particular entire project into different releases, into different sprints and all that, and you want to create a roadmap and want to monitor how and when what items are getting completed. So you can create a roadmap itself on Jira. Mostly in the organizations, it happens in Excel, which is being managed by the project manager, but Jira has the functionality to create that entire roadmap and manage it from here. So you do not have to do any manual activity. Similarly, the another important feature which Jira is providing is notification, right? So a new issue is created, and if the notification function is enabled, that entire team, those who are in scope of this particular story, they can be tagged in that story and they will get the notification. If you are the Scrum Master, you have assigned this a story or enhancement to a developer or a QA, they will get the notification, right? You can set up a custom notification on Jira to get certain kind of issues and reporting and all that. So notification function is also very, very strong function within Jira. Then the most important function is the search function. So Jira has a very strong or powerful search function, right? You can search anything. Even Jira has Jira query language, very similar to like SQL, structured query language, right? Similarly, Jira has Jira query language. Based on that query language and filter, you can pull any kind of report out of project. So if you are managing a small project, finding out the issue and all that is very easy. Yeah, you can just quickly search. But if you are running a large project or if you are managing multiple projects and there are separate requirements that you want to search, right? For example, for a specific project, you want to get, this is a simple search functionality, right? For a specific project, from the project list, you will select the project, all the improvement which are say blocker and critical. Based on that, you want to get that, get a report. You will select those attributes, right? You will go to the search capability, select those attributes, define your search criteria, hit go, and you get that report. And any customization. So very strong customization. This is when you are using the normal search criteria. You can search different search features from issue simply by putting on quick search, right? So if you put, say, a story ID or even some word about that story. So for example, do laundry, say this is the summary. If you type do laundry or the related, it is search as you type functionality. It's called SAYT, search as you type. If you type do, all the relevant search will start appearing. Search do space laundry, then that relevant stories will come. You will select your, if you type the ID, say FIC-123, that is your story ID, if you remember, right? So if you remember your project name, which I say FIC, if you type FIC, all the relevant stories will start appearing. It is controlled by the access that you have. So if you have the access to say 5 projects, only stories related to those 5 projects will appear. So all that is admin access, that is controlled in the organization, right? There might be say 200 projects, but you might not have access to all the projects. If you have the access to all 200 projects and everything is on Jira, you can refer anything from anywhere using filter criteria on Jira or a normal search. But whatever projects that you have access to, right, you can search that. And as I was talking about the Jira query language, right? So this is the Jira query language. Project is equal to home and status is in, something like that. All these, like we search this SQL, right? Or similar search, that we can do it on Jira also. And you get a list of all these items here on the search criteria. You can see, if you see here a column, you can modify, you can update the column, you can export it into different way. You can share this entire dashboard with a list of people. If you do not want to export, you created this search, you saved this as search, and then you shared this search with say, a couple of your teammates. That search, this search will be saved and they can later use this search to pull all the reports. All these are very, very important search capability. We will see some of these where these are available, and I would strongly urge all of you to do a lot of practice, because this is very easy to use tool. The more you practice, the more clarity you will have on this. Yeah, so these are some of the important functions on Jira and some sample dashboard screenshot that I have taken, right? So based on your requirement, you can always create a dashboard. All these are different search and the different query that you have put in. Very easy to just pick up and drop and create a dashboard for managing purposes, right? For project managers, Scrum Master, and all these guys, they use this dashboard extensively. Based on your requirement, you can keep creating the way you want to create. This is just another way of representing, so you know how your progress is moving, what are the issues that is currently assigned to you. So this is a particular dashboard that you have created for yourself, right? You are the developer or a BA and you want to see what all issues are assigned to you. You can just set up something like that and all these will appear here. If you look at this, you have an idea. All the other dashboard that you can set up based on your requirement. And create an item, right? So that is, as I told you, that is this function from where you start your workflow within Jira. So create new, so this is the big, all these, even the names are customizable based on the requirement, right? But create is the option where you start creating. Once you have created an item, it will appear like this. Right? There are different activities, there are different columns, and all the operations are there. So this particular is when you create a task will be assigned. Jira will assign a default task based on the latest number. And this HLP is the project against which is the initials of the project which you have created, or you are part of that project and you are creating whatever task, issue, bug that you are creating against a project. It all starts, it is within that particular project. So the project name is something, the initials will be picked up, and then the number will be dynamically calculated. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, whatever is the number will pick up. Type is something that you have created. So this particular type is like task. It may be bug, enhancement, story, right? Epic, anything. All these are customizable. Some of these Jira is giving by default. Some of these, while implementing Jira within your organization, can be customized based on your requirement. Status, when you create new, it will be new or open or anything that then it will be in progress, then it is resolved. So this is the workflow status. So whatever is the status at this point of time for this particular ticket, that latest status will appear here. Whenever it is resolved, the resolution will be fixed, right? Something like that. If it is not resolved, it is a new resolution will be in new, open, new. If it is in progress, it will be in progress, something like that. So that keeps on changing. Priority is the priority that you have assigned, right? So you have critical, blocker, major, minor, trivial. All these are different priorities that you have given while creating this ticket. So that is what is the priority. At times, for all the user stories, bug and task, the priority is discussed within the team, and then it is assigned. Mostly when we go to the Agile class, we will learn how do we do the product backlog refinement. During refinement, we agree on what is the priority, right? So a product owner as a business analyst might give its highest priority based on the discussion with the client, but it may appear as a major priority or a critical or blocker, that we will discuss this with the team and assign it appropriately. And based on the priority, it is picked up for development. A reporter is the person who is creating. If I am creating, my name will appear, whatever is my name on Jira. If I have assigned it to somebody or somebody has assigned it to himself, the name will appear here. So assigning means the person who is responsible for fixing this issue, resolving that item, right? Voters and watchers are, if you just click here and put your name, you will be a watcher on this particular item. Any status change, any comment, anything that is happening, you will get a notification on your email, right? And you can come back and see what is happening. So mostly if you are a part of that project, right, entire project is assigned, entire team is assigned as a watcher. So whenever an action is happening on a story, everybody is getting the notification. Yeah, the only thing is there are too many stories, lot of notification you will keep on getting. Then this is a help desk. So that is why HLP, that is the project name, which is help desk. What is the summary of this item? Printer on the level 3 is out of toner. So that is the issue that you have created or task. It is created when, updated when, component is what, affected version. So if there is a version, you put that fixed version. So generally what happened, that the issue that you have identified may be on version 1.1, but the fix that you are deploying is maybe on version 1.4, right? So that details you have to, it cannot be the case that it is affecting on 1.1 and fixing is also 1.1. It can have also happen. It cannot happen also, right? So those details you have to put. Environment and other details if available. Description, if there is description, you have to put all that description, right? And then any comment that is on, so further discussion, further changes, all these are managed here. So everybody in the project who has the access to story has the access to comment, and it's a tracking. So you can just see what is happening on this particular item. So these are some of these things we will see on the Jira template also. And all these items that you see here are customizable, right? Some of these attributes are default, which Jira has given on the template. But based on your requirement, you can always customize. You can remove some of the attribute, include new attribute, create new attribute and include as part of the story. All these can be done. It's a report that we have already discussed. Plan mode, work mode, report mode, we will see on that on the application. Yeah. So let's just quickly see how do we create an issue. So create is an option here. If you see create, you'll just create. When you click on this particular screen will open. You see a configurable field options also. You can configure the field also and we add and remove this field in this template. Right, that can be done from here. By default, the project that is assigned to you, that particular project name will appear. Right. If more than one project are there, the default project will appear here. From the drop down, you can select the project where you want to create the issue, story, bug, anything. Then the issue type, all these asterisk red is mandatory. You have to fill, otherwise you will not be able to create that item. Issue type, you have to select either is a story, bug, enhancement from the drop down. Summary, the high level summary that we have seen you put. Assignee, you can select an assignee, you can select it later also. You can assign to yourself also, assign it to me. Description, you will put if this is a story, what is the scope of the story, what do you want to cover as part of the story, that description you will put. If there is any attachment, maybe a document that you want to attach, an email confirmation that you want to attach, some discussion that has happened on this item that you want to attach, you can attach it here. Story points you will assign, right? And there are a lot of other things that we will see on the template. All these when you do and when you click on create, right, create here, you get a notification like this, your issue something is created. This will give an ID and detail. So this is the notification that is immediately popped up. All these are different creating functionality. These. Then the another thing is, so creating issue, managing that issue, requirement analysis, all these are one workflow. The another workflow is to monitor the progress of your project, right? In Agile, it's called sprint. Sprint is one cycle where you take item, develop, test, and complete all that, right? That sprint is a cycle of 2 weeks and 3 weeks. When we go to the Agile, we will understand all these concepts because all these concepts are directly linked to Agile methodology, right? So in a particular sprint, which is say of 15 days or 10 days, right? How are we progressing? Is we managed through burn down chart? It may be a burn down or a burn up. This is a burn down. So the blue one that you see is the ideal. Ideal means this is what you have estimated at the start of the project, right? And the red one is how are you making progress on a daily basis. If you know a bit about Agile, we will see in the class everyday Scrum, right? The Scrum meeting, we will see what we have done, what we are planning to do if there is any blocker. And then if the issues are completed, we appropriately update the status and then we keep on achieving. So ideal is that this is how we achieve, but this is what we are achieving. Someday we are below the target, someday we are above the target. This is how toward the end of the sprint, we are completing all our activities. This is a standard case. This is another example. This is what is the standard, but see, we are moving something differently, right? This is with hours versus days. The remaining hour that is pending, this is story points versus days. We will see all that, but this is how we manage. Then creating a task that you can read it on your own. Yeah. The only thing is story point estimation is something we will also see this in details on the Agile sessions. But all the stories that we create on Agile methodology, those stories are our deliverables, right? Those stories are our functional requirements, which we develop and the features that we develop. And against each story, we calculate the estimate, how much time it is going to take and how much complexity that this particular requirement has, right? So based on that, we derive two important points. One is story point, effort and complexity. And the another thing is total effort in hours, right? So we say for a particular story, and there are some guidelines. So using one way of using is this number 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, 48. One way is to use another way of story is 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13, right? That is also another way of using these. These are the numbers that we assign to each story points. And there is a standard guideline. I mean, the guideline that you see here is not something that is strictly followed. Most of the agile activities are discussed within the team, agreed with everybody who was part of that particular Scrum team or the project team, and agreed. But some guideline is there. One story point means that this particular item will be completed in 30 minutes. When we say completed in 30 minutes, the analysis part is never covered, right? Analysis is already done. Development QA, the development team is going to take how much time, testing team is going to take how much time. These points are considered when we say that this particular item will be completed, right? So if that is less, it will be completed in 30 minutes or something like that. The one story point. It is going to take a lot of days, 3 days or 5 days or 7 days. We give some more story points, something like that. But this is not strictly followed, right? So even in my project in our organization, right, if something that we complete in say 3 to 5 days, we take 13, which is the highest story point. If something we complete in 1 day, and it's a bit complex also, we take say 3 story points or 2 story points. So whatever you discuss with everyone via poker planning or other estimation technique on Agile, we assign those story points, and all these are best practices. So there is no hard and fast rule that you have to pick up this, but based on the agreement with everyone, these are some standard guidelines that we agree, and then we assign those story points. The only thing is, if we have that clarity of the story points, we understand all the items that we have taken for this sprint, right? Say we have taken 20 user stories, and all these 20 stories sums up to say 80 story points. So what is our target to complete at the end of this sprint is to achieve 80 story points. If we have achieved 80 story points, it means all the items are completed and we are good on the estimation that we have done for that particular sprint. If we say targeted for 80, we have achieved only 40, right, which is like 50% of what we have planned at the beginning of estimate. We will see on the retrospective meeting what went wrong, right? So what do we discuss on the retrospective, we will see. But then we discuss that what did not do well, what we have to improve, and all these are continuous activity that we do. And then, so some basic guidelines of project issues and subtasks, right? So there will be a project categorization. You will create a project. There will be different projects. You will create the projects. One of these projects, you are part of that. Then that project has different components, sub versions and all that. Create issues within that project. Issues will have different types, right? It will have story, task, and all these, and these stories and tasks will have further subtasks also. So this is how is the hierarchy of creating, and we will see all that. So this is a standard guideline which is given, and all these are some of the examples. So software development environment, how we create something like that. So this is an example. Help desk environment, how do we create? This is another example. Aerospace engineering project, how do we create it? All that. So this is just for reference purpose based on the discussion, the standard best practices that we have been following in the organization. All this has been done. So as a business analyst, you might not have to say create all these from the scratch. These configuration and all this is already there. Even you do not create a project, right? The project details project manager will share, and the Jira admin team, right? In that organization, there will be a separate Jira admin team, and they will have all the accesses. They are the super user. On your request, they will create the project. You will not create the project. They will also assign all the teams relevant to that particular project. And this is how they are managing all these access and authorization. But yeah, within the project, there are certain configuration that you can do, right? You can customize your templates within that project. You can customize the different tags. You can include new attributes. You can create on the fly attributes. And all these are additional functionality that is given within the project setting. So admin setting and configuration is different. Project level setting is different. And you will have a project admin role, and you do that. And then there's a separate admin role also, Jira user role. So user role only, they will be able to create the issue. They won't be able to do any customization also. If they want to add an attribute and remove an attribute, Jira users access, they will not be able to do that. But project admin access, which mostly Scrum Master and product owner and all these guys will have, they can customize that. So all this is governed by the access and authorization, which is pretty standard, right? So this is high level about the Jira features. Let's now just quickly go to the application, right? So all of you can see my screen, right? Okay. So when you log in, right? So I shared I invited you on this Jira project, and then you have when you have logged in, right? So since we all are the admin at this point of time, right? So we are doing everything at one go. So when you have entered, when login, you might have created a project. They have asked certain information, you might have added that. And then you have successfully created a login for yourself, right? And when you have created a login, something like this might have appeared on your screen, right? Once you have entered into the Jira, right? And all these are different functions. So if you see this heading bar, right? So you see your work, projects, all these have different drop-down filters, dashboard, people, apps, and a create button. Then you have a search capability also. This is a quick search capability. This is a notification, all the notification that you have received. This is for your login, right? So you will see it here. Help is here. So if you want to search, if you want to query something, you can quickly search. Lot of information, you will get it here, right? This is admin level access. So mostly this will be disabled for you because we are using as an admin. So a lot of access we have to do it, but on normal user, you will not have this. And this is about your detail, your profile. You can change your name and all that setting you can do. Standard features on an application, right? These are different applications or the project that we have. Confluence, Jira Service Management, all these are different integrated apps available on your organization. You can access it from here, right? But this is the standard Jira feature. Within that starts with a team, right? So first of all, you will not create this. So you are a part of that particular team. The admin will create a team for you, right? You at this point of time, we are the admin. So if you want to invite somebody else, like I invited all of you. So I just clicked here, put the email ID and all, and I invited everyone, right? So this is how I invited everyone. And then I created a team. You can either invite an individual or start a team, right? So I started a team and this is the team that I created. This is all that detail, right? All these guys. So some of you have not created your profile also, it is still invited. So you can just click on that link. Other those who have already accessed, the details is here. All these you can set up based on your role, right? So based on the organization access. So like business analyst, account manager, and all these, you will not do it on your own. You will have a designation on the organization. That data will be pulled up here, right? Here, when you are selecting one role, right? But ideally, all these will be populating. So you are not creating a team because that is already created. All that information will automatically will appear here. You can use this as a discussion board for this particular team, right? You can keep on using it. So that is your team. There are different tabs also, right? So if this particular Jira is integrated with, say, GitHub, which is one of the Atlassian's tool for code repository, all the code will be repository. The development and branch creation, all that will happen from there. If that is integrated, you can access that app from here. You want, if Excel, Google Sheet, and all these are added, right? If a SharePoint is also integrated, you can use all these things from here. If you have Confluence, you can use all these. So these are the different tabs in scope. All these you can use it from here. Add, manage. You have manage, view, and all these access because this is admin role. In normal user, you might not have all these roles. Then all the dashboard, right? So as I showed you some of the sample dashboards, with Scrum Master, or also you can also create a dashboard for yourself. So if you have created a couple of dashboards, you might be a part of, say, 2-3 projects you are working on 2-3 projects. You have created separate dashboard for each project. The list of dashboard will appear here, and you can just quickly go to that dashboard and see that particular information. For example, if this is your dashboard, right? You can select that from the drop down and see this. Go here and see that detail. At this point of time, only default dashboard. I haven't created a lot of these things, right? I have to still add. You can add, delete, assign to me item. If there are 20 items, and if it is assigned, it will appear here, and we will see quickly, right? All the projects that I am part of. So this is how the dashboard is created, but you can always add the gadget from here, customize your gadget, choose from here, add here, change the layout, edit, view, whatever you want to do. All these, you just come here on the dashboard and prepare a best dashboard for yourself, right? You keep on adding different apps and it will appear like that. At this point of time, I am part of this project, right? So this is what I created. This is Arnab has created. So all these information, who has created, what has created, is coming here. If you create a project, you will come on the dashboard. You created a default. You can name the dashboard also. It's appearing as default dashboard. You can change the name of this particular dashboard also. You can mark it as start. All this configuration you do here. At one point of time, you see all that information here on the dashboard, right? This is a quick filter functionality. If you have a issue, right, like BJ, so see, I am typing, and it is search as you type. As you keep on typing, it is keep on filtering, and it is giving you the result. So this functionality is called search as you type. There are 200 similar activity. All these will appear here. You can go to here also, issue list, project filter. All these additional filters are, they're very, very strong. You can further customize. You only want to check open, done, and all these, and then based on that, you can give that result. So this is a quick filter. Then Jira has also a very strong filter capability, right? Like advanced search, if you go, again, you select all these, what do you want to search, different options, select your search, click on go, you get the result here. This is the another function. If you click on switch to JQL, Jira query language, right, it will appear like this. You can keep on writing the query. Somehow my keyboard is not working, but you keep on writing and it will keep on giving you the information. If you want some help, you have all that information here, right? You can go here. All the details of Jira query language is here. How do you do it? Self-learning, right? You can just copy and just paste it here and find out this. Once you have created, you can save that particular search. You can share this search with everyone. You can export the result. You can export the search that you have created, right? All these different activity, you can do it from here. So this is a very strong search functionality. If you want to switch to basic, then this particular search you can do it. There are other filter that you can apply using from here, right? All these function mostly for managing. So these you can use it. Then you have projects here. From here also you see the list of all the projects that is currently in scope for you. You are assigned to those projects. You will be able to see. So if you are working on 3 projects will appear. You can select the project and go there, right? And whatever latest activity that you have done and working on, all these will appear here. Your board information will appear here. All these are related to your activities. So these are some of the important functions. All these need some level of exploration. So please do it as much as you can for learning, right? And then everything starts from this create button, right? So you are a business analyst and you are creating requirement, epic and user story for a particular project. Maybe you are creating the product backlog. So you will keep on starting, keep on pulling that information, right? One another important feature is import issues. So for example, your requirement, you have put it in Excel format, right? Obviously, you have to use the column name and all that. And they will provide an Excel sheet also. Jira will provide. You can explore this also. There will be a standard Excel that they will give. You can put all that at one go. Say 200 requests that you want to create. Obviously, creating one by one will be tedious. You can just simply select that and import, and all these items will be created one on one, right? Otherwise, if you have to create, so you will create a project. The project name will appear here. All the drop down, the drop down, you select the project, you select the issue type. So at this point of you have story, bug, epic, and task. These 4 items are there. All these are customizable. You want to understand more, the help is here, right? What is epic, what is story, task, bug. Based on the requirement and the configuration, this can be configured also, right? In agile methodology, generally what happens that some of the tasks will only be analysis task, right? That a BA will analyze and close. You do not need a development activity and all that. So you might not create a story for that. You might create a spike for that. That is called spike, only for the analysis activity. So you create a spike, right? At this point of time, spike on this drop down is not here, but if it is requirement of your organization, Jira will configure that for you. Obviously, it will take some additional charges, but if it is required, they will do it for you. Summary, you will add a high level summary. So let's create one. So we will create a story, right? Activity 1 training. Let's create an activity 2. Say task for keyboard is not working. But anyway, summary you will put, right? So this is the summary that you will put. Then description, you will try and elaborate that what do you want to achieve on this story? What is the actual requirement, right? So you can put a summary, right? Or a description. Yeah, you can put a summary of 1 line, for example, here. Then you can put line 1, 2, 3 and write sentences around that, right? What do you want to achieve? That information you will add. You will keep on going. What is the acceptance criteria? Acceptance criteria is nothing but which validates the scope of this particular story. These are effective test cases, right? Which testing team will use. So whatever is the acceptance criteria, that I should be able to create a task, right? I should be able to do this activity. All these are acceptance criteria, which will be validated when this particular activity is completed. So we will write all these statements, right? So what is this task for overuse, right? I should be able to create a task, right? So that, sorry, I entered it and it is created, but I still had to do a lot of other activities. So let's open it on the edit mode. Somehow this edit option I don't see. Yeah, but there is an edit option. Let's try from a new one, right? So story, activity 3. But yeah, but one story, if you want to modify it further also, just pull up that story and there is an edit function. I don't know why I do not see. I will just search. But at the top, like attach and all, you see there is an edit function. So you click and you edit. You can edit any attribute. Activity 3, task, document, task document will be created. So the task that I have done, I will create a document. So at this point of time, I'll just add this as a summary. We'll add this as an acceptance criteria also. I will assign it to say all the people who are part of the project. So let me assign it to Arnab. Label is something that is another filter, right? So if I am putting a label, say project 1, right? It's on the fly creation, right? Once you create it, it will always be a new level. If I am pulling an existing level, I can put more than one. So test what is an existing level. That is why new level is not coming. So test I have created. Now I'll create another. So see, this is context sensitive, right? So this is text another level. I can create on the fly. I can add as many level as I can. What is the benefit? If I just click on project one level, all the items which are tagged as project one, it's a filter. You will be able to get all that as a form of report. So that is why we create. It's not mandatory, but this is how we manage. Sprint, if we have already created sprint, right, we will put it on that. So it will always appear from the, because sprint we have to create separately, but the list of sprint which is created will appear here. At this point of time, we are not assigning. Story points estimate. So say we have estimated as 3 story points. A reporter I have created, so my name by default will appear. If I have a document, I will browse from here and attach. If it is linked to a story, I will select it here, maybe a related to or something, anything I will select. I will first select the type, maybe a related to, and then select a story. All the list I will select, there is a part of story, this, right? And then I will just hit on create. When I hit on create, a notification will appear that this particular item is created. So see, if you see issue, activity, task, document to be created is created. If I search it here, this particular item is here. So I can open that particular item. Yeah, the only thing is at this point of time, I think edit function I'm not able to see, right? But there is definitely an edit function, but all these you can always edit, right? If you want to edit, just select here, right? And you can keep on editing here and then save. If you want to add anything, just hit here, you save it here. If you want to add a comment, enter, it is saved, or just hit on save, right? Keep on adding comment, all these will appear. You want to link an issue, now you can link it. If you cancel, yeah, it will be like, so you keep on adding, you can keep on adding attribute and all that, anything you can do it here. So this is the story, right? If you assign it to Epic, you can do that, we will see here. So this is another story that we have created. You can keep on creating story, you can create task, Epic, whatever you want, right? The another thing is you can configure the fields. So all these fields are already added, right? If you want, yeah, I think if you want to remove, add, all these, like, you can do it, right? All these you can do it on this particular item. Configure field, import issue I have already mentioned, cancel, nothing will be saved. So this is what is the function. This starts from creating all the items of the project. And then when we go to the project, so let's go to the project. Default board is appearing, but we will start from the roadmap. So on the left, my left, you see there are different activities like roadmap, backlog, board, code, project paper, add item, and there can be more. All these are customizable. Sprint and all these also appear here. So roadmap is the entire roadmap of this particular project, which your project manager will create all the Epic and requirement will appear here. What is the tentative timeline and all that you have created, you can create it here. For that particular Epic, if you have given a timeline, it will appear here. Like for this particular Epic, I have given a timeline when we are going to start, when we are going to end. That is why it is appearing like that. So when you create Epic and story, you just give a timeline when you are going to start and end, and all that will be added. You can do it from here also. You can do it from here also, right? Let's do it from here. It's a quick creation, right? So quickly you create, and then you keep on adding story within it, task within it, and all that action you can keep on doing. You can create on creating quick epics. you can edit that epic, right, and create and add more information on that. You can open that from here. It will open here. And you can keep on adding all that information here, right? Assignee, let's put a start date from today and end date 6. And it is saved. And now it should appear somewhere here. See, that date is appearing here. You can modify. So this is how you build your roadmap. Then backlog is the list of all the items on the project, right? The project that you have created, all the items that you have created will be a part of this particular backlog. All these stories will appear here. The only challenge is that I created a couple of stories which I do not see it here. So that I do not understand why it is like that. Let me see. Ideally, all these stories that we have created, it should appear by default on the backlog, because these we haven't started working. We haven't assigned it to any item, right? So let me just open it. Okay. Yeah, so we'll see that why we do not see on the backlog, but ideally when you create all the item, right? And if you haven't added a sprint detail or anything, right? If you have, yeah, you may be in this particular Jira, what is there that you have to create a product backlog kind of item, and then you add that and all these items will come. But in the standard way, if you're not adding a sprint, any item that you are creating, by default, it will appear here. Or maybe I got it. What is the challenge here? So let me see here. What is the, it's new right here. So, workflow. The workflow is not effectively created. That is all these statuses, right, that you see. I do not see a to-do here, right? Because the workflow is not closely linked. If I select a to-do, it will appear on the dashboard. So it is controlled by the workflow. So that workflow you have to create. Do you see watch option? So if you see, there are 2 people which are already watching it on this particular item, right? You can add watcher from here. All these are any change that is happening, you all are getting on your email, right? You all are getting on your email ID. Okay, you have added a comment. Yeah, so you have added a comment that will appear. All the action that you do, all that, and all those who are watcher, they might have received an email on their mail. So if it's an official email, you will receive an official email. If it is your Gmail, you are receiving on your Gmail. Others can also try. Anybody can come here and watch, add a watcher. You can like, comment, and all that options you can do, right? You can vote. All these different options are here. So on your project, on your backlog, you will see list of all your backlog. So this backlog consists of 2 sections. One is your product backlog, which will be a list of all the items that you are completing as part of this project. If there are 20 items, you will see all these 20 items. And then there will be a sprint backlog, the current sprint which you are taking. Okay. So I have added epic. Clear filter. Story I am not able to see. I do not understand why. Yeah, some further check you have to do. So just see when you create a story, ideally all these should appear as a backlog here. I'll create another and see. Those items will be here, and then drag and drop facilities here. So you want to move say 3 items out of product backlog to a sprint, right? So you will create a sprint. You will from here, you will create a sprint, start sprint. Here sprint 1 is created, add a date. What is the sprint start date? What is the sprint end date? There is a sprint goal also, which is also very, very important. What do you want to achieve as part of the sprint? That you will write. Then you have created a particular sprint. So this sprint one is created. At this point of time, there is no issue. Let's pull up an issue and assign it to a sprint. Some functionality, I don't know why I'm not able to use it. So I will mark it as in progress. Okay, let me use a create option on this. So I'll create a story on this project. I don't know why this edit function, maybe I have to see the configuration. But you also search, all of you, if you are able to create and further edit and do all the activity. Summary, the description, acceptance criteria, automatically assign it to say Andrew. Okay. I think I have done something here. That is why I was not able to see. Right. So now I will assign this to sprint. So see, I have created one sprint which is starting in future. So I haven't started that. Maybe I have put the start date to some other date, but I will take that sprint. I have put, if I have 3 sprint which I've created, I will see the list of all these. I will create that particular story. Go to the project. On the backlog, I'll be able to see one item. This 2 weeks sprint that I'm creating. Yeah, somehow I'm not sure why I'm not able to see the stories in the list. You have to check further, but ideally what happens that all the stories that you have created, right, it will appear here, and if you have assigned a sprint, it will appear on the sprint also. So the moment you have assigned a sprint, it will appear on the sprint. Let me just check on the configuration. I don't know why this is not appearing, but for your practice, when you create the items on a story, you add all these fields, right? And you have created a sprint. If you are selecting a sprint, it will directly go to that particular sprint. If you're not selecting any sprint, it will come to the backlog and it will appear here, right? And then you will create a sprint from here. You take this item, drag and drop it on the sprint. It will be a part of that particular sprint, right? So at this point of time for a sprint, there are 0 issues. But if you have taken 5 stories, you will see 5 items. And all these items do you see, right? Not started story point, all these items will have certain story points on a standard scenario, right? So all these items which are not started, the story point will appear here. All these items which is in progress based on the workflow, it will appear here. All those who are completed, it will appear here. This is the status of that particular sprint which you see here. And then on the board, right, this is the board. You will see what items on a particular sprint, right? On the current sprint, it will always be the current sprint, the sprint which is currently working. The item in the to-do list, if there are 5 items, it will be on the to-do list. They are in progress, done, and all this you will see here, right? So I'm not able to do that. Let me just pull up an existing project and we will see all these information. So this is an existing project e-tailer, right, which has been created. So let's see all these items. We'll go to roadmap. Some of all these roadmap items are here, right? your entire product backlog, if you see here, so this is how backlog appears. So if you have not added any sprint, all these will appear on your backlog. So these are different items, right? This is the story, details, and further items. This is on your backlog. Your story point will appear here at this point of time. Story point is not there for this item. That is why you do not see any story point, right? All these items, when you take, you just drag and put it here, right? Now on the backlog, you see two items. On the sprint 2, you see this another additional item is being taken, right? You can move it back to the backlog. So now you see only 3 items on sprint 2. So for this particular sprint, you have these 3 items. Some of the story points are already there. For this particular item, story point is 3. You have not started this sprint, right? If you start this sprint, then you will see. Now this particular sprint is in progress. If you see, this is future sprint that you have not planned. This is the current sprint, for example, which you are running, right? This is a completed, so not current. Yeah. So you can modify. You see all these items, all these different users who is working on what item, right? All these information will appear here. All these items are part of this particular sprint. The story point is given. What is the to do? What is in progress? What is done? All these items are coming here. You can further do the changes, right? At backlog level, this is the level of information that you should ideally be looking at. So maybe in the project I have not set up correctly, so you just check, right? Otherwise, you can use this for your reference purpose. Ideally, this should appear here. You either create story from here and add on the backlog. You can create from here also and add it on the backlog. See, new story added on the backlog. You can add it on the backlog. We will try this option there and then create a backlog. If you create an issue, it will be added on this particular sprint because this is sprint 2. If you add it here, this is already in progress. So ideally you should not, right? Which is standard agile practice also. Once your sprint planning is done, you should ideally not create, but you can go ahead from here and select a list and then create, right? And all these are in progress for that particular sprint. This is how you monitor. And you see active sprint option. So this is how you manage on a daily basis. When your Scrum Master on the Scrum meeting, right, they will open this particular active sprint dashboard and see that who is doing what, right? You can filter this particular information based on users also. At this point of time, it is, yeah, so only my issues I'll just remove. So I only see my issues, but I'll just remove everybody's issue. I'm able to see it, right? So what all issue is in to do that is not started, in progress, already completed, right? Already completed means this is, and it will appear like this. This item is completed. In progress, you can customize this also, right? So at this point of time, this is to do in progress done. You can customize this particular board to add it to your item. So you can do, say, add status, add a column. Testing. You want to see what is the testing status also. So add here. You see testing items here. Now if I go back to active sprint again, to the board, you see a testing column. I will just put one item here, right? Yeah, some setting, but ideally you should be able to move this item, or I will move this item. I may not have access to do it. I may be a user, yeah. But if I have the access, I will move it. So I will, at this point of time, I'll be able to see what all items are in testing. So this is how we understand, right? So all these, and then there are certain reports that you can, right? I was talking about burn down. So for this particular project, you see what is the burn down. So this is what is the initial one against story point and target date. This is what we have achieved, right? So all these information you will see here. And there are different thing that you see here. All these are different report, velocities, current up, all these are different epic report. There are a lot of existing pre-built reports are here. You can always customize based on your need, but as a Scrum Master, they will always see on a daily basis how are you moving ahead on your burn up chart, right? Burn up or burn down chart. So all these informations are is available here, right? Then the another important thing is that you should know is the project setting. I told you that this setting you might not, this is the admin setting, you might not have access, but project setting you can always do it. So you come here, a lot of project name and all these you can update, right? Project lead and all these can be assigned. People you can add, update, move, all that you can do. Workflow, right? In progress, to do, and all these that item that we have, you can update. So this is the current workflow that has been created, but you can add the workflow, right? You can keep on adding and updating the workflow. And based on that, your actions will happen there. If you come to field, right, and if you want to add certain fields, let me go to story. I think, yeah, the access is not there here, but we will see it on the another project. So all these are governed by different permissions. So let me go to the another project. And if I come to project setting here, right, access or issue type. Within issue type, I want to update the template of story. So at this point of time, the story that you see here, all these attributes, all the attributes that you see on this template are governed with the attribute that you see here, right? Now you can either create on your own, right? You can select from here. Now this will also appear. Original estimate, if you add, it will appear. Acceptance criteria is already there. You can add, right? Start date, you can add here. Story point estimate is already there. Reporter is there. You want to remove something, right? You can remove environment details. You can add it here. I don't know why it's not getting up. If you save here, right? Now, if I go to here, you should be able to see the new attributes that we have added. That should be available immediately. You can create a field also. You just select, define a field, right? Team name or something like that. You can put this kind something like that, and then detail the acceptance criteria. And then this particular field will be created. So you draw, if you want to create a drop down, if you want to text a paragraph one, all these different type, if you want to create a date field, if you want to create a number field, you just select, and on the fly a new field will be created. So such level of customization is given. This is the workflow, right? So there we were not able to update. Now here you can modify your workflow. So you have to set up your workflow. Then you keep on creating, adding, deleting, and whatever you want to do, you want to do it here. For example, complete. Some access issue is there for definitely, but when you have full access, ideally the workflow and all, you will not be able to create because this is configuration, right? So you do not have access ideally to create, but a project admin or a Scrum Master who is creating the workflow, they will have the access to update the workflow also. All these are part of your project setting. Within project setting, you can do all these. Even Epic you want to add, you create some new field. Some of the fields which are already created, you want to add or remove or something like that. If you remove, it will be removed. That activity you can create, right? All these activities you will do when you go back to project setting. Let me not save. Some notification setting that you want to edit, update, right? All these are notification that you are currently getting. Issue created, you will get a notification. All those who are watcher, current assignee, reporter, all these guys will get the notification. You can edit that notification also the way you want it. All these are controlled from here. Similarly, there are other functions also, right? All these are other functions which you can use. So all these are not important. What is important is for a business analyst, how do you create your project? Maybe mostly if there are a lot of requirement, then you will be importing that requirement. That is one. Appropriate details are included in these. Then you are managing your backlog well, not the sprint one, this particular backlog. So let's create. Not sure why this particular access I don't have. I have to check. Maybe I haven't done the setting proper, but whatever you create, can one of you also check at your login if you are able to create a backlog and move the item to sprint? Maybe you pull any item, right? BI, BJ, BJ-3 and all these, and then move into sprint 1 or move into backlog. All these you should be able to do it. I am not able to do, I don't know why, but these are very, very simple. You create an issue and then it will start appearing here. Then you use a sprint, edit sprint, create sprint. You should be able to create a sprint. So I will have to check later. I will check why I'm not able to do it on this particular project. Maybe some setting I have disabled. So that you have to do, but ideally you should be able to do it. So you will create all the items. That items will be on the backlog. Then you will manage the sprint. And then on a daily basis, you will see the statuses: to do, done, in progress, prod, ready. Based on the statuses, it will appear here. And from here, and then whatever activity that you are doing, right, you will keep on doing on the roadmap. And then you will come to the different reports that is here. That reports you will try and use. All these are different items. So in this particular project, we have seen that there are certain reports, right, that you will be using. Like on a daily basis, you will mostly be busy on Jira. You will be reviewing the burn down chart, right, and the active sprint. And as a business analyst, you will be mostly working on the backlog. So let me see. So see, this is how it is created. Now here I'm able to create on that particular project. Maybe I have not selected appropriate roles while selecting the project. That is why I'm not able to do a lot of function. So that we have to see. But ideally, when you log into Jira, the accesses will be appropriately given. So you do not have to create anything. You should be able to do it. If you're not able to access on the BA project, right, on this particular project, BA skills, you try on this particular project, which we are using, Business Analysis 01 e-tailer project, and you should be able to perform all your actions. And I'll also see what I have done on the other projects, and all these are items that you will be closely monitoring. So so this particular, and then there are other activities also. A lot of configuration you can do and all these activities, but mostly we do not do a lot of configuration and all. We mostly focus on creating the item. When we are creating the item for agile project, the description, acceptance criteria, and all these items are very, very important, because acceptance criteria, description, and story points and estimation, all these are important activity which you will be doing. So in the agile class, we will learn how do we do the effort estimation and how do we include estimation, original estimate and actual estimate. and story point and all that, and what level of detail you have to put on acceptance criteria, what level of detail you have to put on description section. All these points we will discuss and why these are important. And then how do we effectively manage the backlog? And as a business analyst, what do we do when we call product backlog refinement? So all these theoretical concepts, you are actually doing it on this particular tool in an agile methodology. So at this point of time, if you're able to know how to create different items, put in information, manage the backlog, create sprint, manage the sprint, manage the active sprint details and all that, that level of exposure is enough for you to start working on Jira. Okay, any question? Yeah, keep on trying. So you all are there on this particular project. You can create a project from scratch for your own. You can add all of us while creating. Just see that you are selecting all the accesses, right? So you are a super user. Everything you should be able to do that on that project. Do not uncheck anything. And then start creating the story. Do it on the backlog, create sprint, come to active sprint, go to reports, pull the report, see that information, try and align that information, and try and understand end to end, right? And if there's any question, then we will discuss. So start doing it with the help of creating a new project for yourself. Try and put fill all the information, put maximum information, present it the way you will be doing in the organization, and then we will review that, right? But the tool is very simple. You just have to navigate and understand, right? And there is everywhere you have a help column, right? So you can always navigate and search help, right? You find out the documentation link that I shared. So this is your documentation link. You will find all that information. You can search it from the help also. You can just query and get that information, and you start building your knowledge about Jira.
I have a suggestion here.
Yeah.
Salir. I think we should team up in like 2 or 3 and split the teams, and then we should become a project partner and progress.
Yeah, I think that is a very good. So all of you just coordinate, right? Anybody, and just create. So you all will start. So somebody, you create a team, right? And then you assign different roles. So one person would be product owner. Say Hemant is a product owner. So Hemant will be creating all these issues and managing product backlog. Then say Aruna is Scrum Master, right? Then she will be managing, creating sprint, discussing with all the team to take the items from the product backlog to a particular sprint, right? And then somebody would become a developer, and the other 2 guys become QA or a business analyst, and they will manage that entire product backlog, right? That entire team will also see the acceptance criteria. They will agree on the acceptance criteria, and they write the acceptance criteria against each story. They will discuss among themselves, all of you, and then assign a story point, discuss the complexity of this particular item, put that, assign estimate, and all this. So normal Scrum that we run on a project team, right? You can just replicate that. And when you do that, I will be there. So I will be silently observing all this. We can have a activity session on that. So you can just coordinate all of you among yourselves, decide your roles, right? Agree on a project, try and put all that information, and any clarity that you need, right, on any of the role, we can always discuss in our next class, and then set up some time during this week or next week, and let's run this entire as a project. In the meantime, we'll also cover the agile concept. So that will give you a real life experience. And when you actually go to, we will also see how are we doing good on the burn down chart and all, right? So if you have the data, everything will be appropriate. We will do the customization also. So just all of you discuss within yourselves. If you do this right, the suggestion that Hemant has given is really great suggestion. This is how ideally we should do it. And when you actually do it, you will get the practical experience, and you will be able to navigate all the entire application. Yeah, all of you can discuss, and I will be there, right? So when you set up, you call me also. In one of the session, maybe Friday or next Monday, or after that, we will just gather only to run that. So all of you will run, right? I will be there. If there is any help and guidance is required and some clarification is required, I will be able to help you. And I'll just observe how all of you are running this particular thing. And that will be it will be a very good experience for all of you. It's like real life experience. So start building your information. Any question that you have pinged me, and then we will discuss that. Yeah, build everything from scratch, and just keep that as a reference, right? So decide the roles among yourself and activity and the different activity, and let's put everything here. So complete.
Reach out to us for more information on our Jira and business analysis programs.